Do you feel it? The weight of an elephant on your shoulders? That elephant is final sweet. I feel that stress too. And we're not alone. According to the American College Health Association, 63% of college students in the US felt overwhelming anxiety in the past year. I've done extensive research on this topic, including legitimate sources and scientific articles. I also have experience with stress and the solution I am presenting. I urge you to take action against stress through first, identifying the harms of stress, second, demonstrating a simple method to reduce your stress, and finally, looking towards the future with the benefits of the solution. This brings us to our first point of identifying the problem. Stress is extremely harmful. Meet Delaney Aris, a college student at Syracuse University. As a freshman, her anxiety started when little things such as getting out of bed and completing homework led to extreme stress. Things escalated to panic attacks and not leaving her room. Ultimately, she took a mental health leave of absence and sought inpatient facility care. Delaney is not alone. Cases like hers extend across the nation, as again 63% of college students feel this overwhelming anxiety. Stress is also a serious problem because it is harmful to one, your mental health, and two, your physical health. As for your mental health, the National Institute of Mental Health says long-term exposure to stress contributes to mental disorders such as depression and anxiety. It can also lead to things such as suicidal thoughts. Stress also impacts your behavior, mood, and mental functioning. The Mayo Clinic notes mental breakdowns, a lack of motivation, social isolation, and insomnia as effects of stress. 2. Stress harms your physical health. According to the American Psychological Association, short-term effects of stress might be tight shoulders, headache, and fatigue. Yet an extended reflex to stress, increased blood pressure, and increased heart rate can lead to lifelong cardiovascular problems. This leads to an increased risk of hypertension, a heart attack, or even a stroke. Dr. Carolyn Aldwin states there are numerous ways chronic stress can kill you. As even one study notes that the more stressed out you are, the greater risk you are for a premature death. Aldwin continues, stating that elevated cortisol levels also lower your immune function and bone density. Some of you may have felt these negative health effects. And based on the survey, the majority of class experiences at least moderate stress daily, thus you should be also concerned about these harms of stress. 71% noted moderate to extreme stress levels on a daily basis, and 48% noted frequently to extremely. Now that we have seen the severity of the problem, let's address the solution. This brings us to our second point of demonstrating the solution. First, let's evaluate an alternative common solution. One common way to relax, which aligns with my survey data, states that watching TV, movies, and playing video games. However, these are inactive ways to manage stress. The Mayo Clinic notes that while in the moment you may be relaxed, in the long term you're increasing your stress levels. The Time magazine notes a study found that the feeling of guilt for watching a lot of TV is especially felt by those who are very busy or extremely stressed. This burden of guilt then worsens your mood and provides even less relief. I would argue that we have all experienced the temptation of one more episode. I know I have. Thus, it is easy to abuse and misuse this relaxation activity, ultimately causing more harm than good. Thus, we should seek a more efficient and beneficial method to manage stress. My solution is to create art for a mere 15 minutes per week. There are 3 reasons that integrating art into your routine is easy and simple. First, it is flexible to individual preference and resources. There's a wide variety of materials available. You could use paint, markers, pens, or even that pencil laying around the house. Also, for creation options, you could sketch on your own or color in a coloring page. 2, there are no rules and you have complete freedom. You control your subject and style. Perfection is not required. Dr. Kamal notes that the physical act of making art is what causes the relief and positive emotions. Thus, there are no guidelines to get the benefit. It is all about the process and your own experience. 3, it's not time-consuming. You can get the benefits fast. A research participant notes that after about 5 minutes, I felt less anxious. Creating art is also effective as the benefits can improve your life. Creating art reduces stress. A study in the Journal of the American Art Therapy Association found that art making results in, quote, statistically significant lower levels of cortisol, a stress hormone. Written responses also note that it was an enjoyable, freeing from constraints. They lost their self in the work. It was relaxing and pleasurable, indicating a decrease in stress and an increase in a positive mood. Drawing or coloring and creating art can help as a stress management method because it is a mindfulness experience. I have been in those moments where the outside world fades away. You are clear and calm and focused only on your work. Art also can induce a state of flow, which according to psychologists is an engrossed moment in a near meditation state, which again reduces stress. However, regardless of these benefits, some claim that they are not creative or don't have enough experience, and therefore that this method won't help them distress. There are two reasons this is an invalid argument. First is denial. To say you aren't creative simply isn't true. Dr. Kamal, an art therapist researcher, states that everyone is capable of creative expression. Everyone has the creative potential. It is just a matter of practice. The mindset of I'm not creative is also not an accurate or true label because it is due to comparison to other great artists. In Psychology Today states when you're in a comparison mindset, you inadvertently diminish your own creative ability. Two, they're not mutually exclusive. You can have no artistic experience and still use art to distress. You can do both. In Dr. Kamal's research, the cortisol levels demonstrated that there were no significant differences based on prior experience. Thus, even if you don't have an experience, you can still get the benefits. Ultimately, considering yourself not creative or don't have enough experience, these are not valid excuses to avoid creating art, as anyone, regardless of labels or time spent in the field, can benefit from art making and distress. Now we have refuted the opposition and gone over the solution. Let's envision the future with creating art. This brings us to our third point of visualization in two ways. First, say you ignore what I said. Your stress begins to pile up. You may skip class, not leave your room, then your grades may begin to slip, and you may lose valued experiences with your friends. You must have a miserable mood and panic attacks. Looking even further into the future, you may suffer from clinical depression or anxiety. Even worse, later in life, you may suffer from a stroke and then struggle to talk or even move. And in the worst situation, your life may even be cut short from a fatal heart attack. Two, let's consider positive outlook. Consider that you do agree to create art once a week. You have been brave and explored a new technique. You may even possibly discover a new passion. Overall, you have a sense of tranquility and clarity, an increased enjoyment and pleasure, as well as a more positive mood. You will have dusted the stress off your shoulders. Creating art will also improve your critical thinking skills, attention, and concentration, thus helping you in all aspects of your life, even right now in school. You will also not live in fear of an early death or a serious health issue. Now that we have visualized life with art, let's review what we covered today. Today, I attempted to persuade you to reduce stress through 1, identifying the harms of stress, both mental and physical. 2, demonstrating a simple method to reduce stress by making art that is available to everyone and effective. And finally, looking towards the future with the many other cognitive benefits such as calmness and concentration. Right now, set aside 15 minutes during your week to create art. Choose a media or subject or just go with the flow. Don't stop due to a lack of inspiration. I have attached a document with a variety of drawing prompts. Also, if a freehand drawing is too daunting, don't give up. The document also has a list of mandala coloring designs. Start with an open mind and let yourself be in the moment. There is no right or wrong. Start creating and relax. It's that simple. I urge you to pick up a pen and put down the stress.